Hey guys, get ready with me while I talk about how my dad tried to kidnap me, how he said my mother wanted to abort me, and how he left me home alone when I was 7 with my 5 other siblings. I just want to start by saying if he tried to reconcile our relationship and try to come on here and be like, oh, that's not true, it is. And I have receipts to prove that. So let me give a little background first. Me and my father are on bad terms. I have not seen him in a decade, which was when I was 8 years old. I am now 18 years old. I just graduated, and we don't talk. The last time we talked was on the phone, was me trying to get answers out of him of why he decided not to be present when I was a child, and he continued to cuss me out and blame it all on my mother. So let's just go in with the first part. When I was a child, I remember being probably not that old, maybe like, I don't know, I was in first grade, and he told me that we were going to go on a surprise trip to Florida. Now, I asked him, I was so excited because my father is from Jacksonville, Florida, and I was going to meet some of my extended family that I had only heard about. And I was excited because I was hoping that I could have some cousins to play with, that I could meet my aunties. Like, I was just very excited. Now, he told me that this trip was a surprise, which already made me kind of on edge, even as a first grader, because what type of surprise do you tell your child? So he told me that this was a surprise and that because of that, I could not tell my mother. Which I'm thinking, okay, if this is a surprise for me, what this got to do with my mom? So I ask him if she's going. He tells me yes. So I'm like, okay, shoot, I'm gonna keep this secret because, like, we about to be lit in Florida. No, that wasn't the case. My mom had no idea. So obviously, I'm a first grader, and anybody who knows me knows that I am very talkative. I'm very talkative. I make friends with everyone, and even with my teachers. Like, I like to talk to my teachers. But I also knew growing up that my mom told me that when you feel uneasy about something, especially when it came to my dad, that I need to tell someone. So me being the type of child that I am, I go to my first grade teacher and I'm like, hey, my dad says that he is taking me on a vacation with my mother, but my mother doesn't know about it. She doesn't even know that I'm going. So I'm like, just telling her about it. And she's like, does your mommy know that you're going? And I'm like, no, it's a surprise. So obviously, like any first grade teacher would do, when their student is saying that they're going on some surprise vacation and their mother, their primary caregiver, doesn't know, she makes a call. So my mother gets a call from my teacher, or they had a meeting or whatever, and my mom was pissed. She was pissed because she's sending me over there thinking that her daughter is being cared for, and that's not the case at all. Of course, she's yelling and screaming, he's yelling and screaming, don't talk to me about how I can take care of my daughter, whatever. So you tried to take me to another state without my mother knowing. And honestly, like, I think that if I had went, I wouldn't have came back. But to elaborate on that, as a child, when I would go to my father's house, he would not take care of me. Me and my 5 other siblings, mind you, I'm the oldest, and at the time I was like 7 years old. He decided to leave us home alone unattended and go with his wife to go to the liquor store to get cigarettes, to get substances. Me being the oldest, with my younger sisters, which one of them is a baby at the time, and my younger brother, I have to fend for them. I have to figure out how to feed these children, how to take care of them. And I try to call my father. He left his phone at home. So there's no way to know when they're coming back. I don't know where they are. And I don't know what I'm supposed to tell my mother because, like I said, in her mind, her daughter's being taken care of. There were times that I would go over there and eating just like wasn't a big thing, I guess. I would tell him, oh, I'm hungry. And one time he straight up told me, just drink water. Okay. So mind you, I'm a child. These are my most impressionable years. So having a relationship with my father is something that is very important to me. And I couldn't recognize that what he was doing as a child was very inappropriate. And I still fought to go see my dad. And he did not live that far away. So, like, I was always telling my mom and my stepdad, like, I want to go see my dad. Was I not being taken care of? Absolutely. But I still wanted to make it work. To elaborate on the next topic, when he told me that my mom wanted to abort me. I was in my sophomore year of high school and I was sitting in class and me and my dad had been beefing already. He had sent me this nasty email talking about how I'm a B word, my mom is a B word, everybody in my life is a B word, he's right, everybody else is wrong, stuff like that. So I hadn't really been responding to him because once it gets to a certain point, I am no longer going to entertain foolishness. I'm literally a student. Like, I have other things to worry about. I digress. Anyways, he decides that he's going to send me another text message, which I had already been like debating on blocking him. Like, I didn't want to speak to him anymore. Like, he would cuss me out like any chance that he got. It was so weird. It would go from like, oh my God, I love you so much. Like, I miss you. Like, I want to see my kid, to F your mama, F everybody. So I'm sitting in class one day and me and him hadn't been texting. Like, I stopped when he started cussing on my phone because I'm like, what? How old are you as a sophomore? 15? And you're gonna get on my phone cussing? The phone bill that my mama paid for? Whatever. So he tells me all in all that my mom didn't actually want me. He was the parent who wanted me because apparently my mom wanted to and should have aborted me. Okay, cool. I was born in 2008, so I'm pretty sure that abortion was legal. And if my mom really didn't want me here, she probably just would have done it. But like I said, I digress. Whatever. So that was a whole thing. And I called my mom immediately. Like, I had to walk out of class because I was hysterical. I was crying. I was mad. I was all the emotions that you would feel if your dad told you, yeah, your mama didn't want you. So I called my mom, hysterically crying, and I'm like, Mom, do you want to abort me? And she's like, Alana, what are you talking about? And I'm like, well, my dad called me. She was already mad. Because at this point, like, you're doing too much. Like, I understand that you have beef with my mom, okay, but you are out now. It's like elevated. Like, at first he would just talk to me about how much he didn't like my mom and how when I was older I was gonna see the witch that she really was, which I've been living with her my entire life, and I feel like if she was the witch that he was making her out to be, I probably would have already known that. But, you know, whatever. My mom's already pissed, and I'm more focused on trying to better my relationship with him. And still, I give him millions of chances after this to be the father that I wanted him to be. I would reach out first. I would tell him how much I wanted to see him, and in return, I got nothing. Fast forward, since I have plenty of stories. This is not even a tenth of the things that he has done to me or my mother, but he would go on social media and talk about how people are bitter. This was definitely a diss at my mother, by the way. He would say how people are bitter and how he's just the best dad in the world. He deserves Dad of the World award. Meanwhile, your firstborn is not in your priority list at all. And I remember calling him a year ago to be like, yo, why aren't you being a better father? And he literally told me, well, you're just easy to forget. Easy to forget? Your firstborn child? So I'm at my boyfriend's house when all of this is happening, and at this point, I'm like, wow, I don't want to talk to you. So I tell him on the phone. He starts yelling, screaming at me, cussing me out, calling me a B word, all this stuff. And I tell him, I'm done with your BS. I can't deal with you anymore. Goodbye. And I hung up. And I honestly think ever since that day, he is salty because this whole time he was trying to convince me that, he tried to convince me that it was my mother's doing and that I'm brainwashed and all this stuff. But the thing is, like, you have the same way that he treated my mother is the same way that he's treating me. But I'm brainwashed. But I'm seeing it firsthand. Like, you are crazy. Then he goes on the internet and talks about just how he's the best father in the world and how my mom is bitter, his baby mama's bitter, all this stuff. But he made a post last night, which is why I'm making this video. He made a post just airing everybody's business out. But then he brought my mother into it. And he said he wanted to my stepdad and my mother, the people who took care of your child. Okay, I finished my makeup. I don't know if I should make a part 2 because there's more where that came from. But yeah, that is all that's wrong with my father. So, yeah.
Get ready with me as I tell you about the time I almost got beat up at work. And first, a sip to start off my day well. delicious. Now, let's get started with this story time. For a little background information, for people who don't know me personally, I can't smell. I lost my sense of smell due to COVID my freshman year in high school. And if you're wondering why I'm saying this, it is a very important fact in this story, and you need to remember it. So there are 4 people in this story you need to know about. Me and my friend, we're going to call her V. The girl who almost fought me, we're going to call her Crazy, and Fitting Room Girl. So this started off as any normal night when me, my friend V, and Crazy were all on the floor, which people who don't work in retail, the floor is where you're just making sure everything looks neat for the customers, nothing really big. Me and V are just walking around doing whatever, like just doing our job, and Crazy is over talking to Fitting Room Girl. So as the night goes on, my friend V also knows I can't smell. So she's telling me that, oh, it kind of stinks over there. And of course, I cannot comment on it due to the situation I'm in. And to make it clear, V wasn't saying that this girl stank. She was just saying that it stunk in that particular area. So at one point, when we're close to closing, she asks me to go over there into the fitting room to get the rack so we can put it back because it was just so bad she could not stand the smell. Another very important note to say is that I am a fiddler, and I usually fiddle with my necklace. Now again, if you're asking why is this important, it's because this night I wasn't wearing a necklace. So usually when I bring it up to fiddle by my mouth, I wasn't doing that. So instead I was taking my nails and just kind of like dragging it around my lips and just fiddling. And Crazy and Fitting Room Girl are sitting there talking. So they watch me walk in as I'm just fiddling, doing whatever. I go to grab the cart. My hand actually goes down because of course I'm right hand dominant. So I go to grab the cart and I'm walking out. Crazy starts yelling at me, telling me that I need to stop what I'm doing and that this girl doesn't stink, which I came back and told her. I said, I can't smell and no one ever said she stank. I am getting the cart so I can put this away and we can go home. She begins to call me a bitch and calls me a liar and other names I am not going to say on here. After I roll my eyes at this girl, I just start walking the cart back to wherever it needed to be put away on the floor because I just wanted to get home. Like, I was not getting paid enough to deal with that shit. And once I got back out onto the floor with this cart, I start telling V about what Crazy said to me. And as I'm doing this, she's staring right at me the whole time. Not even at V, like she's clearly talking and pointing at me. So fast forward, after this incident, we are now down to closing. And when we close, we all have to move like together. So we all have to be at the front, we all had to be at the first door and then the second door, and we can't leave until everything's locked up and everyone's right there. So me and V were talking about this candle that she liked, that she found, and she said, oh, it just looks so pretty and it smelled good, and she was describing the scent to me because, you know. And as my friend V is talking about her candle, I can hear Crazy behind me talking shit about me and calling me a liar loud enough for me to hear. And it was pretty obvious that she was talking that loud on purpose. So, of course, me being me, I loudly declare, damn it, I wish I could smell that candle. Too bad I can't smell. And I said it loud enough for her to hear, and I turned my head around to look at her because no way you were going to sit there and say something behind me and expect me to not say something back when the situation that she gaslit herself into thinking to didn't even happen. And once we get outside and all the doors are locked, she turns to look at me and just starts saying shit, and I can't even tell you what she said because I don't remember. Me and V go to walk to our cars. I roll my eyes as we're trying to walk across the road to go home. This girl starts saying shit about how she's going to jump me and starts running over to me. And as she's running over to me, the manager, Fitting Room Girl, and another girl have to step in and stop her because I already alerted my manager of the situation. She knew what was going on. She knew about my no situation. She knew that what was going on wasn't actually going on and that this girl was just going crazy. So my manager told me to just stay there for 1 minute, like I was just standing there. She went over and talked to the girl, and when I tell you this girl was throwing a fit, she was throwing a fit. Like, you would have thought we had a toddler with us. Like, she was flailing her arms, she was like screaming, she was crying, like she was doing way too much. I mean, girl was just throwing a fit over me standing there. So at some point, my manager said, you know what, like, just go home, whatever. Like, I know you didn't do anything. We're just gonna deal with this a different day. And that different day definitely came. So the next time that I worked, my manager and my like head manager radioed me into the office like right as I got in. And in there, my head manager asked me to explain what happened the night that the situation happened. So I went on to tell her about how I was just fiddling around. I told her the backstory of me not having a sense of smell. And when I walked in there, that this girl just started saying shit to me and was yelling at me and calling me names and saying that I was saying this girl was stinky when I didn't even say anything close to that. And I think previously to this, she already talked to the other girl, because then she began to question me on if I could really smell or not, which I reiterated that I lost it freshman year, and I was able to tell her literally when and who gave me COVID. Like, I went into detail about it to tell her. After she asked me a couple more questions about it, she said, you know what, like, I believe you, like, I'm gonna have this handled, just go back out into the floor and continue as normal, which crazy was on the shift. So my boss had us separated. She had her up at the front and had me on the floor. So not too long after this last shift that we ended up working together, they came to me and told me that they fired her and they are sorry for what happened. After my managers did figure out the situation and fire that girl, I did go up to fitting room girl at one point and did apologize, and I did explain to her, I was like, I really do not have my sense of smell, like, I am very sorry if you thought that I was saying that about you, like, I was not at all, I was just fidgeting, like, I'm really sorry. She then starts apologizing to me and tells me that it wasn't really that big of a deal. She knew that I couldn't smell, and crazy was literally just being crazy. And thanks for getting ready with me.
Get ready with me while I tell you about the worst date I've ever been on. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this was either like my junior or sophomore year of high school. It was one of like the first like more realer dates that I've ever been on, and this is why it was so bad. So the date first started when he picked me up, and we kind of just sat in his car for literally like 10 minutes trying to figure out what to do, because like neither of us had made a plan, and I kind of just like assumed that he was making it because he was like, oh, I'm gonna come pick you up. And first dates are always just so awkward, and you never want to like give your opinion or like give your idea first, because like what if they judge you, you know? So after literally 10 minutes, I finally was like, okay, let's just go get food. And obviously we had to sit here and talk about where we wanted to get food, and I was like, okay, like there's a pasta place down the street, let's just go there. And he's like, okay. So we go to the pasta place and we both get dinner, and like I'm just kind of already getting like a little bit icked out by like things he's doing. And here's where the best part happened. We had talked a lot about stuff because we had been snapping for like months before we actually like went on this date. Basically, I had like gathered the details that all of his money was through his parents, and he didn't have a job and never had a job, and currently like I was working a lot to like afford for my lifestyle. And so the check comes, and he kind of just like sits there and like stares at me, and like I obviously know how like first dates go. Like I feel like in the normal world, like usually, not all the time, but usually the man is like supposed to pay. And so we kind of just sat there for a little bit, and I didn't want it to be awkward, and I genuinely don't mind paying, like I really don't care. And so I was like, oh, like it's been sitting there for like a few minutes, and so I was like, oh, do you want to just like split it? And he's like, oh yeah, sure, okay, because I don't think he was gonna say anything about it, you know. Also, this is my literal favorite contour stick, and I saw the mini blush in the store today and I had to try it. This is literally adorable. But anyways, so I was like, yeah, let's just split it. And he was like, oh yeah, sure, okay, great. So I get out my wallet and I was like, okay, let's wait until, you know, the server comes back so we can split it. He goes, oh, how about you just pay and I'll pay you back? And I was like, okay, sure. So I paid my bill, his bill, and the whole tip. And like honestly, I didn't mind because he was paying me back, but I still was just kind of like weirded out by it. So then I was like, oh yeah, like if you want to just like Venmo me, like that would be perfect. And he's like, oh, can I just give you cash? And like me, like I hate cash. I will never spend it. It will stay in my wallet for forever, which I guess is not a bad thing, but like if I'm gonna pay something on a credit card, I want something to be returned on my credit card. And so, like, you know, this is the first date, it's already awkward, and I was like, okay, yeah, like, sure, you can just pay me in cash. You guys are gonna be blown at what I am about to say. He pulls out his wallet and he gives me $23 in $1 bills. 23 ones. And I'm like, okay, what? Like, is he like secretly a stripper? Like what? I mean, obviously no, but like, why do you literally have so many ones like in your wallet? So obviously I'm already annoyed at this whole thing, but then to pay me in literal all ones, like, I don't know. I thought that was crazy. But, you know, I was just like, it's fine. Like, it's a first date. Like, yeah, I'm gonna have to be carrying out a wad of cash in my back pocket because I literally didn't bring a purse or anything. But, like, it's fine. Maybe the rest of our date will go better. Y'all, it literally gets worse. And, like, just a reminder, like, it's not the fact that he didn't pay. Like, I don't care. It's the fact that, like, also his parents didn't, like, tell him how to, like, properly take a girl out. I don't know, I feel like there's just things that you're supposed to follow when you, like, actually like a girl. And so, I don't know, maybe he thought I was hideous when I got into the car and said, F this. But then the date continued. We got back into his car, and we just, like, went for a little drive, and we were just trying to figure out more things to do. And after a little bit, we decided to get ice cream. And I'm like, okay, like, yeah, fun. Like, I love ice cream, sure. We go to this ice cream place downtown, and I guess all of his friends, like, worked there, and that's why he picked the place. I don't know. I've been there a few times, though, before, and it was good, so, like, I didn't really care. And so we go in line, and we get our ice cream, and he's, like, talking to his friend, and I'm not really, like, connecting yet that, like, they're friends. And I go to the register, and the lady asks him, like, how he's paying today or whatever. And he's like, oh, I'm covered. And she's like, oh, okay, because, like, his friend, like, gave it to him for free. And so I had to pay for my ice cream. But, like, whatever, like, that's fine. Like, whatever, like, it's fine that I had to pay for my ice cream. But it's, like, the fact that he literally got a free one, and then I still had to pay for mine, and he didn't, like, offer. Which, like, I don't know about that. But, I think the main part about me was, like, the ones. Like, that's fine. Like, I will pay for my own stuff on my first date. But it was, like, the fact that, like, all of this happened, like, all at once, you know? So, obviously, after all of this, I'm, like, frantically texting my friend, like, come pick me up. This is actually the worst date I've ever been on. Like, you need to come pick me up right now. And I kind of just, like, slipped away. I was like, oh, yeah, like, I'm just gonna leave, because he was just hanging out with his friends at the ice cream place. He wasn't even talking to me. And he was like, oh yeah, like, I'd love to see you again. And, like, he texted me later that day. He was like, that was such a great, like, first date. Like, I had a really good, like, time with you. Like, I'd love to hang out again. No, I'm never speaking to you again. And after my friend picked me up, we went to her house, and I was kind of telling her mom's friend about it. That's a guy, and he was sitting here, like, jaw dropped, and he was like, he did what? And so I was like gaslighting myself into thinking that, like, I was in the wrong. But I had a lot of people tell me that, like, I wasn't, and, like, that was, like, literally a crazy date. But yeah, anyways, that was my worst date. And if you guys have things that top that, please put them in the comments, because I love reading that stuff. I just finished my makeup and my hair, and I'm off to go to a little gift exchange, so bye! Get ready with me while I tell you about the story of how I dumped my ex 10 minutes before asking him to prom. If you know me or him, no you don't. I'm getting a little bit out of my comfort zone for this video, but it's a good story, so it's worth the listen. Okay, so 2 years ago, I dated a guy that was younger than me, and there had been a lot of problems in our relationship, and it was honestly more complicated than it wasn't, and so there was just, like, a lot of, like, red flags. But I kind of need to start from the beginning, because you guys are not going to understand the context unless you get the full story, but I'm going to try to explain it as fast as I can, and with not as much detail, because you guys don't care about the little details. But anyways, I started dating a guy and he was younger than me, and it was a pretty good like relationship at first until one day I posted a photo of us on my story, like low-key hard launch, and the girl screenshotted it, and I was like, okay, like whatever. And so it got me thinking, and so I just like texted her because I was like, why did you screenshot my story? Because it was like someone that I like wasn't really friends with, and it was like my extra large like story on Snapchat. So I was like, why did you screenshot that? Like, I was kind of concerned, but I was like, there's no way she like purposely did that. It was definitely like by mistake and she didn't mean to. But yeah, so I texted her and she ends up calling me. Ready for that hey girly text over here. But it was a call, and she was like, yeah, so like I'm dating him right now. And I was like, whoa, what? And so she goes on to tell me this like whole story that's like completely true about how they had been like going out for the past like month or so. I don't really remember, this was 2 years ago. And so I'm like, okay, what the hell? So I call him and I confront him about it, and he says that they have called everything off and like he stopped talking to her to talk to me. And like we weren't together fully at this point, we were just talking. So I was like, okay, whatever, like we weren't exclusive, but like still it was like kind of weird. And like she showed me receipts that made me like really skeptical. I just decided to believe him because I mean that was like the easy thing to do. I was obviously like in a new relationship and this is what always happened. But anyways, the story came out as true. I'm pretty sure he stopped talking to her, but she was still number one on his best friends list for a really long time. And so I was just very like, oh, okay. And I like never even looked at his phone either. So I just never knew what was going on in his life. I need to make sure this makeup sticks. But anyways, so one day I'm at my place of work and we had been going out for like a few weeks now. And I was talking to my friend about him, and some girl at the table next to me goes, are you talking about this person? And I was like, what? Yeah. And she was kind of just like, I'm so sorry for butting in, but like I happened to overhear you were talking about him. He's cheated on every single girl he's dated before you. And so obviously that's like a red flag and I should have ended it there. But I was like, oh, what? And so I got like all the tea from her, but still, I was a teenager, I was in love, and I decided to believe him over her after confronting him. So I didn't have his location or anything, so every time he would go out with his friends, I would just assume that he was cheating on me. And like I was at home most of our relationship like crying because he like wasn't answering, and I just was like assuming he was cheating on me. I mean, you can only assume the worst, you know? And like maybe he wasn't, maybe he was, but like I tend to self-sabotage a lot, and so, you know. Another really big issue was that I stalked his Snap score because I was just like, once again, like I was self-sabotaging, trying to like find things that were like going wrong with him, and I happened just to like stalk his Snap score. And I don't stalk people's Snap score, I was just really paranoid this whole relationship. And so I was stalking it and it was just going up by so many numbers, and I had conversations with him about it, and he's like, okay, like I'll stop texting my girls. Or I'll stop texting like all the people I'm talking to. I'm like, okay, good. Like this is good. So there were multiple times where I thought about breaking up with him, but you know, he always said the right thing, and so I was always just like, okay, like that's fine, like we'll figure it out. But this is where the prom part comes in, and I'm gonna make a second part because this is just the backstory, but I'm gonna make the actual story in the next part, so go watch that.
Story time on how my mom caught me drunk at a party. She literally pulled up on me and everything. I already started my eyebrows. I know I usually start my videos doing my eyebrows, but I almost forgot to film. I haven't had like no time recently to like sit down and like really do my makeup. So yeah, sorry, it's been a minute since I've done a story time. But yeah, so this was again back in high school. I don't know how old I was, but I remember that my mom was making me go to like Bible study nights like at our church because I was so troubled. Um yeah, so I mean like, you know, there's like regular church on Sunday, and then there's like nightly things. I can't even remember. Or I think she wanted to go to like a night church. I don't know. Anywho, she was really tired from work that day, but we were supposed to be going. But also that day there was supposed to be a little house party in our neighborhood. This guy that my friend was talking to, his parents are cool as fuck, so they didn't really care. And I knew that the guy that I was talking to or had like a crush on at the time, he was gonna be there, so I had to be there. My eyebrows are pissing me off. They're not even, but the show must go on. So yeah, so she was going to take like a little nap, I guess, before we were supposed to go. So I was like, yeah, go ahead, take your little nap. I think I had put in I think I had made, she wanted me to make her a tea. Hold on. She wanted me to make her a tea, and I think my trifling ass ended up making her a like sleepy time tea so she could just knock out and I could go to the party. Because when her alarm rang, like she was gonna take like just a short little nap. And when her alarm rang to get up to go, she was like, "Oh my God, I'm so tired." And I was like, "Oh no." I was so looking forward to going. I was like, "Well, if since we're not going, can I go to my friend's house tonight for a little bit?" And she was like, "For what?" And I was like, "I think that they're just having like a cookout or something. Like people are gonna be there and I wanna go. And since we're not going and I'm off of school tomorrow, can I just go?" So I kind of convinced her to let me and I went. So I go and one of my friend's brothers, he was like older. I think he was like 21 at the time. And he brought like a bottle of vodka to drink. And I was planning on not really drinking because I just had a bad feeling. Because, I wasn't supposed to like be there for long. And I was just scared of, getting caught. So, wait, what did I just say in the last clip? I already forgot. But yeah, so he brought vodka. I wasn't trying to drink. Oh yeah. And, he was like, "Come on, just drink a little bit. It's early. Like, you can get sober up before, like it gets too late. And then you can just like sneak back at home." And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I really don't know if this is a good idea or not." And, I didn't want to drink it straight. I was like, "Okay, well, like, let me get some of your mix straight." Because he would always have, like, a huge ass cup, like, one of the gas station cups, and have, like, a mixed drink in it. So, yeah, I got to sipping. And mind you, I was, like, 18 and, like, 90 pounds soaking wet. Like, all I would do is drink, skip school, and not eat. Like, I was a weirdo. So I was like really small and it did not take me much. And my friend, he was like 6 foot, like 220 type shit. Okay. So we were drinking the same mixed drink and it was strong as hell. And so yeah, I start to sip on it and then I start getting like drunk as hell. But then my crush comes and he's like, "I'm outside. Come outside. Do you want to smoke?" And I'm like, do I? Because, like, shit, I used to be a smoker. I used to be a drinker back in the day. Well, I still drink, but I don't smoke anymore. Like, not really. And so, okay, I think I overdid it with the blush, but it's going to come together. And I went inside. I ended up actually laying down because that lean had me leaning, girl. So yeah, I started laying down and I think I actually went to sleep for like a few minutes. And then the next thing I know, one of the boy's sister who was where the house party was at, she was like shaking me awake. She's like, "Oh my God, Daniela, wake up. Your mom is here outside looking for you." And I'm like, "Huh?" Like, ain't no motherfucking way. That lady is supposed to be asleep. I gave her so much
sleep tea or whatever. I put like 2 bags in there, and I was like, there's no freaking way. And then she was like, yeah, you need to go. And I was like, no, I need to stay here because I probably won't be alive tomorrow if I walk outside of this house. And she was like, girl, no, you need to leave because we're all drinking and we're all like 17 or 16 to like, what, 21. There's like a big age range. So yeah, and I was like, oh my God, girl, like, are you kidding me? She's like, yeah, she's about to shut this whole thing down right now if you don't like get up. And I was like, okay, well, like, let me fucking collect my stuff. I'm like, I took a bottle of water and I walked downstairs. That water did not do anything to me, okay? Y'all heard what I was just doing. So I walk outside and my mom was like, she's like, wow, look at how, like, qué bonita te crees que te miras. Like, how you think you look so good, right? You think you look good right now? Like, you're, like, so fucked up. And I'm like, oh, what are you talking about? And she pulled up with, so how she knew where, I hate fucking fuzzies. You just fucking fuzzy. How she knew where we were was because my friend, dates the boy whose house it was. So my mom went to my friend's house first, and she's like, do you know where Daniela is? She said she was here. She's like, oh no. My friend's mom, she's like, oh no, they're down here at this guy's house, because her mom was cool too. So everybody had a cool mom besides my mom. My mom was actually crazy, but I mean, I guess it worked out in the long run because all of those kids I used to hang out with are nobody's. So yeah, hold on, let me get my bearings. So she was looking at me like I'm fucking insane. Like, look at me like she's seen a ghost. And then she's like, come here right now. She grabs me by my hair and she walks me all the way back to our house, and her parents, my friend's parents, follow like with us just to make sure my mother does not kill me. And then we go inside my house and we're sitting on my couch, like me, my mom, and my friend's parents. And she's over here screaming at me and they're asking me all these questions, and I cannot answer a single. I can't even compute anything because I'm so fucked up. And my mother is just going like off on me. She's like asking me questions, and I was like, huh, like slow as hell. And she's like, huh. She's like, look at you. You can't even talk right now. You talk like you're retarded. Sorry, I know that's a slur. My bad. She was like, you talk like you don't understand what's going on right now. You look like a fucking idiot. Just going off. And she's like, I'm gonna send you to El Salvador. And I'm like, no, please don't send me to El Salvador. Okay, the story is already at 9 minutes and 15 seconds. So I'm just gonna have to go to part 2. I'm sorry.
Last night took a turn for the absolute worst. Let's do my skincare while I tell you about it. So I went to dinner last night in Chicago to a restaurant I was honestly really excited to go to, and it was kind of disappointing, to be honest. We had a reservation, we didn't get sat for like 20 minutes till after, the service was slow, but whatever, it was fine. And we finally eat, we get our food in. My friend got pasta and I got a pizza. Everything was like going well, it tasted good, everything was great. About 20 minutes after we were done eating, we had just been like hanging out and talking at the table. I started to feel really weird and I was like, my stomach really hurts, really don't feel good. But whatever, we had plans to go like meet our friends at a bar, so we ordered the Uber, we left, and I was still not feeling great, but I was like gonna stick it out. We go to the bar, we meet our friends, and I'm just like trying to not think about it. I'm trying to like not ruin the vibe, like have fun. And then we meet up with my boyfriend and I'm like, I'm not feeling well, like this is weird. And he's like, do you want to leave? I'm like, no, it's fine, I'm just gonna stick it out. We're waiting in line to get upstairs to the rooftop of this bar, and the line's pretty long, so we've been waiting for like a good amount of time at this point. Something comes over my body and I'm like, I'm gonna throw up. Turn to my boyfriend, I'm like, I need to get out of here. So my boyfriend and my best friend and I start to walk. We get out of line. My boyfriend is like holding my hand and my best friend's behind me trying to get through the crowd to get out the door. I don't remember much, but I just remember I go into a full body sweat. I'm sweating out of pores I didn't even know I had at this point, and my vision goes black. That's really the last thing I remember, and I pass out. And then I wake up and I'm on the floor in the middle of this bar. I'm like, oh great, this is so embarrassing. I'm sweating. I'm like, I do not feel good. my boyfriend and my friend like pick me up, they get me outside, and there's a trash can right outside the bar, and I just start throwing up. Like, all the food I ate from dinner, I'm just like profusely throwing up for minutes. And at this point, I'm still like kind of out of it. I don't fully remember like what was happening, but I just remember being really hot. I'm like sweating, and I finish throwing up, and my vision goes black again, and I pass out again. And then I wake up to my boyfriend and a security guard lifting me up, and they gave me water. And after I gained consciousness the second time, I stood there for a minute. I like drank a sip of water, and I like started to feel better. And once I got water and like I could stand up on my own and like I felt better, my boyfriend, my best friend, and I went and sat on the curb, and I just took a breather. But after that, I was completely fine. So I don't know. Food poisoning, I feel like usually lasts longer than that, but I was completely fine after that. Like, I passed out twice, I threw up, and then I was like good. Weirdest situation. Obviously, I went home after that. I did not go back into the bar, but kind of really scary and not where I expected my night to end up. Get ready with me while I tell you guys one of the actual most psychotic stories that I've ever lived. I'm not just saying that. I'm like 100% confident that this is an original experience. I know nobody else has experienced this, which is why I think it's the craziest story. And a little bit of a disclaimer, this will make the most sense if you have an LDS/Mormon background or if you know some of the terms. Let's just jump right into it. This is also one of my very first Get Ready With Me videos that I've made and posted, so bear with me. We're gonna rewind, I think, like 3.5 years. Basically, I was dating my ex-boyfriend. Disclaimer, I'm not happily married. This has nothing to do with my husband. This is a past ex-boyfriend, okay? I'm dating this past ex-boyfriend, and him and I like to go to the temple. Those of you who are not LDS/Mormon, you can look this up. Another disclaimer, a lot of the things you do in the LDS temple are like very sacred and tied to the religion, so I'm not gonna be giving like a ton of details to just be like respectful, of course. You go to the LDS temple for service. You're essentially performing ordinances for the dead and spending like an hour or two at your temple appointment to do ordinances for people who have already passed, okay? So it's a Friday night. Me and my boyfriend at the time are like, okay, well, we haven't gone to the temple this week, so let's make a temple appointment. Last minute, I go online to make a temple appointment, and nothing was available but sealings. So a sealing appointment, you're essentially going to the temple. You're being sealed in place of like a couple who has passed on. You're getting married in their place. I also believe in sealings as like a family. A lot of times you'll be sealed in proxy of a couple, and then sometimes you'll add on and be their children. So you're getting sealed as a family as a whole. I also want to clarify, we did not do sealings very often. I feel like it's kind of a weird thing in the church to go do sealings with someone you're not married to. We go to do the sealing appointment. We get there, everything's great. We go inside the temple, we get changed, and we walk up to where the sealing room is. When you go to the temple, you have to check in. So we went to the sealer room and we checked in, we got everything figured out. They made sure they like knew like our appointment time, who we were, etc. There was a couple that was like standing in the same room as us. And for another clarification, when you're doing sealings in any ordinance in the temple, it's usually with a group of people. So we go into the sealing room, we check in, everything's great. And there's another couple in there, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, that's so interesting. Like, usually when I've done sealings or like any ordinances, there's usually a lot more people than just like 4. And I'm like, okay, you know what? It's a Friday night. Temple wasn't crazy busy. And it was just us 4. So me and my current boyfriend at the time, and then another couple, and they had their backs facing us. So I'm thinking, okay, great. Like, it'll just be us 4. Should be quick. Couple proceeds to turn around as we are all being led to the sealing room. Boy turns around and I make eye contact with him. My first boyfriend ever. My very first boyfriend when I was 18, had just moved to college, and his wife, okay? I am with my boyfriend at the time, literally going to do sealings. Mind you, the sealing rooms are very small. Just picture that. My ex-boyfriend turns around, makes eye contact with me. His wife knows full well who I am. We're actually from the same hometown, so let's just put that into perspective, okay? My heart drops to my actual butt. I'm like, there's no way this is happening. I'm like, maybe they're putting us in different sealing rooms. Maybe we're gonna be separated. Nope. Make eye contact with his wife as well. And then the sealer says, okay, we're all gonna go into this little room right here. I'm like progressively freaking out. I turn to my boyfriend at the time and I whisper, it's literally my ex-boyfriend.
Like, and he knew about him, and he was like, no, it's not. And I was like, yes, it literally is. That is my ex-boyfriend and his wife. Mind you, we did not end on good terms. Not at all. Like, we proceed to walk into the sealing room. We sit down, and the sealers of the temple are just like usually like an older man just trying to like be funny. So we sit down before we like do the ordinances. Some sealers want to chit chat. So this sealer, of course, was someone who wanted to chit chat. He proceeds to start asking us questions like, where are you guys from? And of course, I go first. And I'm like, yeah, I'm from Mesa. I'm from Mesa, Arizona. Looks at the other couple, my ex and his wife, and goes, where are you guys from? My ex answers, Mesa, Arizona. The sealer goes like this. What a weird coincidence. Do you guys know each other? Literally, I'm side-eyeing my boyfriend. I'm like, what do I do? And then he's like, oh yeah, I'm from Utah. We kind of like brush past the question. Things start to settle down, progress into the ordinance. And I'm thinking I'm in the clear because usually when there's couples there, the sealers put the couples together. They say, okay, we're going to be sealing this wife and this husband together. Great. You guys can come up. You two obviously are a couple. Come up to the ordinance. We'll call it good. Then the sealer goes, Brad Cox, you come up and be sealed as their daughter. So I walk up, full terms, because you can't really talk too much about what happens in the temple, sit with them and be sealed as their daughter. Just gonna let you guys sit with that for a second. So at that point, nothing could get worse. Like, genuinely nothing could get worse. Luckily, the worst is over. You're curious if we had a conversation. No, we did not. Four of us walked out of the room. Nobody said a word to each other. Nobody even looked in their direction, like vice versa. They didn't look at us as we walked away. We didn't look to them. We didn't say hi. We got dressed, walked out of the temple. And I know God has a sense of humor. I know that. Trust me, I have plenty more. I have plenty more of these stories. Stay tuned for more of these stories. Please comment below if you've experienced something similar. Love you guys.
Story time behind this photo. Disclaimer, this is the most embarrassing story ever. So to set the scene, this is December 2025. This was so recent. It's winter break. I'm visiting my hometown in New Jersey. If you guys don't know, that's where I'm originally from. And then I was going to New York City for a few nights. While we're in Jersey, we're staying at my dad's best friend's house, and he has a daughter. Let's name her College, okay? And she had two friends over at the time. And I think they actually were both sleeping over, if I'm remembering correctly. One of them we're going to name Blonde. The other one we're going to name Walk, okay? We walked all around New York City together, so. Anyway, so they're divas. They are so fun to hang out with. They're a few years older than me, so I felt like a young hub. Let me stop. We got there on Thursday night, so like really, really late, like 1 a.m. Friday, I had nothing to do, and Walk was not yet at College's house, so it was just me, Blonde, and College. And so we went to a local like boutique that day, and like we just kind of hung out. We didn't really do much that day. But Saturday is where it gets fun. So basically Friday night, their friend Walk came over and slept over, and they all three invited me to go to New York City with them the next day, which, wow, honored. So I had no plans until that Sunday. So I would have literally just sat in the house and done nothing that Saturday. So I was free. I asked my dad. He said we have to see about the snow or something. The snow was fine. So my dad ends up saying yes, right. So the plan was to, all four of us now, go on this train to New York City. And then they had a whole thing planned out, like Soho and then like Rockefeller Center, just like all different like places. They had like it all mapped out on how they wanted to do it. I do not remember it anymore, but I was just gonna go with the flow. I get up, get ready, and next thing you know, I'm in College's car and she's driving me somewhere. And it's not the train station. It is not the train station. We're going to a local cafe. Whew. I have never been to this cafe. I don't even think it was open by the time I lived there, but if it was, I just never went. So we pull up to the cafe, we're walking inside, and basically I thought that they were just going to get coffee, which I don't like, but turns out they were going to get coffee and food, so my fat ass wants food. My order at Starbucks is literally always just a chocolate croissant, my strawberry acai refresher, and a chocolate cake pop. So I walk in, and they didn't really have any drinks that I wanted, so I just passed the drink menu because no strawberry acai refreshers over here, but they have croissants and a chocolate stuffed croissant. That is my shit. Like, that is my shit. So I order it. Yeah. So we're waiting for the food. We're talking about whatever. The food arrives. It looks so good, bro. My fat ass couldn't wait another second. I start taking in. I bite into it. I look at college. I go, does this have nuts in it? I'm allergic to hazelnut. And some other kind of nuts, but... Right. I do not have my EpiPen or Benadryl with me. Ooh, so I'm cooked. Usually when I get an allergic reaction, I just take Benadryl. And it just makes me tired as fuck. But I deal with it. And my mom's always with me. She always has Benadryl on her. And I have an EpiPen in my dance bag. And I only ever travel for dance. This was the one time I wasn't traveling for dance. So I didn't even think about my EpiPen because I've never used one in my life until now. And at Starbucks, I obviously don't have to ask if they have nuts in it. There was absolutely nothing labeled that said it had nuts in it. When it was shown in the counter thing, there was no label that it had nuts in it, right? And so college starts calling my dad, and I start just crying because that's just who I am, okay? I start calling my dad, but then, like, he was on the phone with her, so, like, he couldn't call me. So then I didn't know what to do. I was just kind of, like, standing there, and then my dad is like, I'm on the way. Okay. We are only, like, 5 minutes away from the house, by the way. Some random ass man in the cafe decides to call fucking 911. No. No! And some other random man in the cafe, bless his heart, literally, ran to his car. He has a peanut allergy, and he had a fucking EpiPen. But not yes at all. I've never put in an EpiPen before. It's not necessary. It's really not. Holding on for dear life to Walk's hand, he stabs this thing into me. It hurts so fucking bad. I asked him if it was a needle, and he said no. There's blood on my brand new pants that I just got for Christmas. Right. Turns out it was Nutella drizzled on it, which obviously it was, but I've never even touched a Nutella in my life because I'm allergic to fucking hazelnut. So I didn't even know that it looks different than regular chocolate. And correct me if I'm wrong, chocolate and Nutella are two different things. So it shouldn't be labeled as a chocolate croissant if it's a Nutella croissant. Like, the fuck? My dad finally gets there, and a cop got there, a whole shit ton of ambulances. They're just asking me so many fucking questions. I'm just like, I just want to go to New York. You know, like, I don't care that my throat is currently closing. Oh, I forgot to say that. That's how I knew that, like, I was having an allergic reaction. Is, like, my throat started tingling and then, like, slowly closing. I was like, holy shit, about to die. I really didn't know what to do, but I had the EpiPen in me and I felt so much better. And tell me why the person at the counter told my dad that I should have asked. Well, yes, I should have asked, but why would I think to ask when, first of all, you never have to ask at Starbucks because they're a major company that cannot be getting sued? And why do you not have it labeled? It's not chocolate, it's Nutella. Difference. Tell me why they proceed to put me on a stretcher. Baby, I could breathe totally fine at this point. My throat was not closing anymore after the EpiPen was put in me. I could have walked to the ambulance, but they had to put me on a stretcher in front of this entire cafe. At this point, I was just sobbing my eyes out because of embarrassment. That's all I was crying for. Like, I was not crying out of pain, anything. Like, why the fuck did I have to go to the hospital? Why? I'm literally fine. It's not funny. I'm not Young Ho approved. We're on the way to the hospital. Tell me why I have to stay in the hospital for 4 hours. So, and mind you, they just kept me there. They didn't give me shit. They didn't do anything to me. They took, like, my, like, finger stuff and, like, the regular shit that you do when you go get a checkup at the doctor's office. Like, nothing special. I'm just sitting there watching TV for a good 2 hours. Somebody finally comes in and gives me Benadryl. I go right to sleep because that shit knocks me out. I'm sleeping for 2 hours. I get woken up by my dad. We finally are leaving the hospital. Dad's best friend's picking him up. I fall asleep in the car because I'm still tired. Get back to my dad's best friend's house. We transfer to my dad's car, and he decided to bring me to New York. Mind you, I fall asleep in the car again. Meet the girls at a hair salon. We catch up on everything that they did. My girls, I love them. They were so fucking sweet. Later that night, we went out to dinner at an Asian fusion restaurant, and I was asking a million questions if it had nuts in it. Moral of the story, be that annoying person, or you'll end up like me. That's it. Love you guys so much. Have an amazing day.
Saying the names of the schools or anybody that I worked with. This is just my experience that I'm sharing. This is why I was chosen as a non-reelect. I was in my second year of teaching. My first year as a special education teacher, I was an intern. At that first year that I was teaching, I was hired by a male principal. We got along fine. He did my observations and all that, and all my scores were great, nothing to work on. That year, I was the resource teacher, so that meant that I was the push-in teacher. We didn't have a lot of pullout at the school site that I was at, so myself and my paraprofessionals split my caseload, about 28 students or whatever, and we went and we pushed into all TK through third grade that year. So that was my first year of teaching. Then second year is my first year of induction. That first year of induction, we got a new principal. So that principal had left, and we got a new female principal. This was, from what I understand, was her first year as a principal. As well, I know for a fact it was her first year in that district that I was working at. She had informed me that I was now going to be a self-contained teacher. Totally fine. But I was still in charge of the push-in support for all of TK through second grade. So not only was I a self-contained teacher and I had to manage and, figure that whole system out, I was also in charge of what I was doing last year with one paraprofessional. So it was a concern for me from day one. They knew it was a concern. And I expressed my concerns to the principal, to our school psychologist, who was very involved with our special ed program at our school. And they kind of just brushed it off and said that the district is not going to provide any more extra support. And my extra support was receiving another paraprofessional at our school to help. They told me no. So after a few weeks, I think maybe in a couple months, it was just getting harder and harder. So I decided to reach out to somebody very high in the district that works in special education, I'm not saying who, and I advocated for our school and in my classroom and my kids, saying that, I'm a self-contained teacher. I'm also in charge of these kids. It wasn't emotions based. I wasn't saying like, it's just too much for me. I was stating, numbers. I was looking at percentages, and just the numbers just didn't make sense. It was impossible to do that with only two people. So he ended up meeting with me. He ended up granting us a extra paraprofessional. So I was successful in that sense. But it made our administrators at that school look bad, because here I was, a new teacher, explaining X, Y, and Z, saying that I'm not getting the support that I need. Well, it's nice that he did that for me, but it made our admin look stupid, and therefore they let me go. They didn't like that. So that's what happened.
Okay. I just experienced something beyond, weird. I was in the gas station getting a Polar Pop, as my healthy self does. And, there was this, older guy in there, kind of staring at me, being creepy. I kind of get that a lot. Not just because I'm a young girl, but just I think there's a lot of creepy men, so it's just what they do best. And there's this little girl next to me. She comes walking in. She's blonde. She's so cute. She's adorable. Probably 7 or 8 years old. And he stops staring at me in line, and he gets behind her and is staring at her the whole time, being so creepy. And I'm like, no. I was about to say something because she was by herself. And my maternal instincts, I just, if there's any little girl or little kid, but little girl especially by herself, I'm gonna kind of stand around her and make sure she's okay. Not, obviously in a creepy way, but, I just kind of am looking out for them. I'll, ask them, is your mom around? Are you okay? Just because I don't trust people anymore. I think, the majority, sadly, of people, most of them are men, sadly, are just so creepy. Like, and it's because of things that people have watched online and stuff. Like, people are just so creepy. And I'm not having it. This guy, like, was staring at this little girl. And then she walked by herself, like, to go home. She was like, she walked to this gas station, was walking home. I said, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, I'm fine. She starts walking in the direction of her house. And this guy hops on his bike and starts, like, going kind of after her. And I'm like, oh, absolutely not. So I drive around, and thankfully he went past her because there were a lot of cars around. But I'm like, I don't trust people. I'm sorry. Nope. And you're not messing with any little girl either. I will get you. I'm just letting you know. So anyways, I wish that people could please be careful with your daughters. Please be careful with your kids. Make sure they're safe. Sadly, we don't live in a very safe world. And just please make sure that you have your eyes on them and that they are somewhere safe. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Be pissed on my couch. Hi you guys, get ready with me talking about my crazy ex story times. I just want to preface by saying that I have the most loving boyfriend in the world and we've been together for over 6 months. So none of these facts are about him. One day, I invite my boyfriend over to my house and we're watching the Titanic. The movie's good, I got his food. And my sister is walking right behind him and she's like, hey, honey, why are your pants wet? He goes down and touches his butt and he's like, oh yeah, my pants are pretty wet. Whatever, I mean, that's weird.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
This puddle on his pants was like, it was very noticeable. It was very liquidy. It was wet. We go back to my couch and we sit down and we unpause the movie. It's the scene where, you know, like there's like painting and a portrait and other things. He naturally covers my eyes. He covers my eyes with the same hand that he used to sniff his butt. He pissed on my couch. Anyway, long story short, he ended up like breaking up with me like a week later. He said that I was crazy and had too many problems. Yeah, that's what happened with that ex. I'm getting ready to go have lunch with my boyfriend and then we're gonna come back to my house and probably just watch a movie or something. I love going getting food, so we're gonna go and get food. I'm thinking Mexican. We'll see what he's thinking. I'm also in the mood for wings. Wings sound really good, so maybe we'll stop by Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm in the process of buying a car and I want to know if y'all have any first car recommendations. I really want to get an electric car for the sole purpose of not having to buy gas. I want like a cute electric car and one that's like stable and like affordable. And like the thing is, everyone around me drives very nice cars, so I have like a very ill perception of like what like a nice car is. Let's go get a Porsche, but honey, you're not getting a Porsche. The dream is to like maybe get a BMW. Like I just want like a low-rise BMW, maybe like 10 years old, but it's still like chic and cute. I drove my friend Kavia's BMW and she has a very nice car. Shout out Kavia. Shout out to everyone for letting me drive their cars, period. I was actually driving her car without her in it. It was me and my friend Reese and we wanted to go and get McDonald's. So went through the McDonald's drive-thru. I'm getting out of the parking lot, right? I'm like trying to turn and I thought I had the right of way because I was turning right. This car is coming straight and he's going so fast and he didn't stop at his stop sign and he starts honking at me, flipping me off, telling me like, learn how to drive. And I'm like, hello. And then Reese rolled down the window and she was like, learn how to get manners. Like driving is actually so scary. Like I think like it's so dangerous. It's so scary. It's honestly like one of like the scariest things like that we put ourselves like through like daily, you know? I really do need to learn how to become a safer driver, you guys. Like it's like eating away at me. I just get like really bad road rage. And I know that that's not something I should be proud of, and trust me, I'm not. But as I'm getting paid, I'm thinking about what I want to do with my money. And I'm like gonna be working during the school year next year too. So that gives me a little more stability with what I want to spend my money on now over the summer, and I really want to get highlights. I'm thinking about doing a Jennifer Aniston kind of highlight, right? But my hair is dark, okay? I know it's dark. So we're not gonna change it. We're gonna keep like my natural color, my natural hues, but we're gonna like take like certain parts of it, like 2-3 shades up. And like some of it's gonna be like ashy brown and some of it's gonna be like caramel brown. And I just want it all to like blend in super well. And then I already have layers. You can't really see it because my hair is like pinned, but I have like layers, right? And I want them to get like even chunkier. But I also think I'm gonna get like the Brazilian straightening treatment. I think I just really need that. Like, I'm the type of person that needs it. Like, I straighten my hair every day. Lately, you guys, I've been so into Madonna. Like, I just think that Madonna is like the coolest ever, and she's just so chic and so baddie and all of the above. And I've really been like so into her music. Like, it's been my shit lately, you guys. Like a Prayer is so good. Here, we're gonna listen to some of it. I just have this playing in the back while I finish getting ready. I've just been like doing a lot of like thinking and like reflecting lately, and like I'm like in this new era where like I'm just like living to live, enjoying every second of every day instead of like trying to like make it go by quicker, because I feel like we always like find ourselves being like, oh, like I really want it to be like October so I can go on my trip, meanwhile it's like April and you just want all of like the months in between then to go away, you know? Like, I've just been really into like living in the moment, and like I'm the type of person who like will like save all of my face masks, save everything. I'll be like, I need to use it on a special occasion. And I was like, you know what? No. Like, I only live once. I can go buy more face masks, but I can't buy more time. Like, I'm gonna go use a little face mask. Oh, I've used like a Medicube face mask like every night for the past week. That's besides the point though. This coffee is so good, you guys, and I just want to show you my little cup. It's like a little prayer. I wanna take you there. Feel your hours. Take you there. I need to get more setting spray. Let me know which ones you recommend. Guess who placed her first order for creatine today? Yeah, I feel like that's so exciting for me because I've been going to the gym like for 2 years. You know, like I've been working out, I've seen progress, I've been consistent, but I haven't been on creatine yet. I feel like this is like the first like real step in my gym journey. I'm really excited. I'm not gonna like sit here and try to promote like supplements. Obviously, like I don't know anything about them. Like I did my research on creatine and I think it would just be really good for like my endurance, you know, just to be able to like sit here and get through a whole workout and put more into it. So this is my favorite part of my makeup because I let my like powder sit and I do my lashes. This is the best mascara on the market. It's a gorgeous brush. Take a look at this wand. Yeah. And I'll show you how it makes my lashes look. Just watch. Guys, I haven't even finished my coffee. I still need to do my hair. I need to put on my outfit. I need to put on my jewelry. We're struggling. Look at the difference. Look at the difference. Yeah. One coat of Lash Paradise. Go buy it right now. Maybelline, sponsor me. Thank you. Leave your guilty pleasures down below in the comments. Mine is coffee and Gushers. Not together, obviously, but I can eat like 30 of like the tropical pack of Gushers and like I'll be fine. I drink so much coffee, you guys. I just love caffeine. I'm like a caffeine junkie. Like I drink coffee, I drink like the huge Celsiuses. You know, I don't even like how the Celsiuses taste. They just give me such a good like pump for my workout, you know? Okay, you guys, here's my final makeup look. I'm gonna go finish getting ready. I love you all so much.
I came home early from my 18-month mission, and this is why. So for those of you who like knew that I went on a mission, I didn't really like announce it very much. I kind of kept it more quiet. I went on a mission for my church, and they typically last about 18 months, but I got sent home early for medical reasons. So basically I've been kind of like putting off posting this because it's been hard for me. It's been a hard adjustment. But I realized it'll be best for me to kind of tell people. I need to put it out there because it's one of those things where I was like going through it and I didn't know anyone who struggled with what I have been struggling with, and it was just really hard for me to kind of feel like it was hard for me to feel normal and comforted and like I was normal. But yeah, anyways, it started back in September of 2025. I was on a bulk. I was eating a lot of food, going to the gym all the time, and all of you on TikTok should know, or most of you know, I don't post a crazy amount of like gym content, but I love the gym. I love nutrition. I love staying healthy. I love all of that. And I was on a bulk, and literally out of the blue, I couldn't eat. I couldn't eat anything. I was so scared to eat. I thought I was gonna choke on literally anything I ate. So I just stopped eating completely, and I was living off of protein shakes for a very long time, multiple months. I didn't eat Thanksgiving dinner. I didn't eat Christmas dinner because I couldn't eat at all. I ended up losing a lot of weight and basically like all my muscle. And it was really, really hard for me because I worked so hard to build that muscle. And especially since I was literally on a bulk, it was really, really hard for me. It was really hard for me mentally and physically and just everything because I was like under eating and my body was just living off of like stress and like the bare minimum. So it was really hard. And so I kind of stopped going to the gym for a bit. I would go occasionally, but it was really hard for me because I wasn't eating enough. So I wasn't burning. I was like going to the gym. I would burn extra calories that I shouldn't be burning. And my only solution was just not being able to go to the gym because I couldn't eat enough. So this went on. It's still happening to me. Like, I still cannot eat like a normal person. I'm still trying to figure it all out. But I've kind of been able to adapt. But kind of a few months after I kind of started struggling with this, I decided I was going to go on a mission. And for those of you who don't know, in my church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, we have the option to go on a mission. Girls go for 18 months and the guys go for 2 years. So you put in papers, you list all your medical things, everything, and then you get assigned to a place where you're gonna get called to. And so I put everything in. I didn't put in that I can't eat, and I didn't really think about it. I don't know why. That was bad on my part, but I just kind of just didn't really think about it because I was like, oh, I'm gonna be serving people, I'll be blessed, I'll not think about it. So I got my call and I was called to Phoenix, Arizona, which has a lot of members and a lot of member dinners. So like the members in the churches and the wards and the congregations, they feed the missionaries dinner. And so I found out that Arizona has a lot of that, which kind of scared me at first, but I kind of thought that I'd be able to like deal with it. So anyways, I go out to Arizona. I go out to Phoenix. And this is after the missionary training center, which I was there for 2 weeks. And it was hard for me there. I brought a blender with me, a mini blender, so I could make my protein shakes. But at the missionary training center, I literally lived off of cottage cheese, eggs, and bananas and peanut butter. That's all I could eat because I literally, like, it was so bad. And so I kind of was just like, well, it'll be fine when I got to Arizona. Like, I didn't really think too much about it because I was kind of still able to choose a little bit what I could eat because we had like a bunch of options. So anyways, I got to Arizona and I got assigned to the place in Phoenix that I'm serving, which happened to have a lot of member dinners. Not every area there does. So I was getting fed every single night, multiple times a night, because we would teach people who would feed us, and like multiple times throughout the day. So I was fine, like breakfast and lunch, I could just make a protein shake or eat yogurt or something easy, or eggs, something easy like that. But then at dinner, that's where it got really hard. We would go to dinners and we would like talk to the members, and for me it was really, really hard because I would just I would sit there, I would fill up my plate, I would get like the tiniest portion sizes. Like there would be like toddlers eating more than me, and I would probably take like 2 bites, and the entire time I would just sit there and I couldn't talk at all. Like I was just so anxious. Like I just had this mental block where I couldn't eat. And it was so hard for me because my companions were, because we get put in companionships, so it's usually 2 people together. So like I would have one companion, but I was put in a trio. Thank goodness. I think it was such a blessing because it was a little bit more like distracting to people having 3 of us. So I had 2 companions, and thankfully they would help me during like dinners. Like they'd be understanding and like kind of distract it from me. But it was really hard. Like I couldn't talk to the members. They would ask me questions and I would just like I wouldn't be able to answer them. I'd be eating, and there are some points where I literally physically cannot swallow because of how anxious I am. And so they would ask me questions and I wouldn't answer them because I couldn't. Like I wasn't present. I was just like out of my body. Like you know that feeling where you just like you're there but you're not really like mentally there. That was me. And it was so hard for me. So I continued doing that, and I thought it'd get better, but it just kept getting worse, progressively worse. So I kept doing that, and it got to the point where I literally, like, I was getting so depressed, so anxious, and it was affecting lessons, it was affecting relationships, it was affecting my companions as well. And it got to the point where my companions were like, you're not okay. Like, you are not okay. What is wrong? And so, like, they knew what was wrong with me, but before this, I had started taking counseling because they were like, you should do counseling. So I started that, and I'd never done that before, and it wasn't really helping. It helped a little bit, but I was still under so much stress. And one day they were like, you're not okay. And so I just broke down crying. I was like, I can't do this. The video is running out of time. I'll make a part 2. Okay, so we were in the car right before dinner, and they were like, what's wrong? Like, you're not okay. And so I just broke down crying, and I told them, I was like, I can't do this. Like, we're about to go to dinner, and I really, like, cannot do this. And it affected me the entire day because I was just so anxious about dinner. And I couldn't do it. So they were like talking, we were all talking, and they were like, you can't keep living like this. Like, we're gonna have to talk to mission president and figure out what to do. And they mentioned that it might be the kind of thing where I would get sent home, and that scared me so much because I didn't want to go home. I loved the mission so much, and I loved the people, and I just didn't want to go home. And that kind of made me feel more sad, I guess. But after they said that, I had started like praying about it to know if it was like the right thing for me to do. And I just, like, as much as I did not want to go home, I just kept getting the strongest prompting that I needed to go home. And like, I was needed at home. I need to go home, go to school in the fall, and just like, it was really hard for me to like accept and comprehend. And like, I kind of like pushed away for a bit. But then we went and we talked to the mission presidents, and I'd kind of told them a little bit what happened. They had spoken to the counselor, because the counselor is able to tell them. I'd like given her the permission to like talk to them about it, so they knew what was going on. And basically we do interviews with the mission president and his wife every 6 weeks. And so it was my first interview with them, and usually it goes separate. So like, I would meet separately with them. Usually like one companion goes with one companion goes with the other. But for my interview, they were like, we're gonna do this together so that we can all talk about everything, so we don't have to repeat everything. And so I went into the interview, and my mission president was like, so we have been praying about this and talking about this, and you need to go home. And there was no arguing about it. There was basically no chance that I would be able to stay out. Like, I could, obviously, but we had all basically been told by God that I needed to go home. So he was telling me, he was like, you need to pray that, like, going home is the right thing for you, rather than, like, praying about if you should stay or go home. So I just prayed to know that this was the right thing for me. And again, that prompting, that feeling, I just felt so much peace knowing that I was supposed to go home. So literally, this was on a Wednesday. I talked with my parents. My mission president talked with my parents. I literally went home the following Sunday, like, literally, like, 3-4 days later. So it was a really hard experience for me, but I learned so much on my mission. I learned so much about myself. I even though I was only out for 2 months, I grew so much, and I'm just so thankful for the time that I was able to spend out in Phoenix. I love Phoenix. I love Arizona. It's amazing. I love the people there. But I feel like I kind of, like, needed this experience, I guess. But anyways, I'm home now. I still can't eat regularly. I'm trying to get back into the gym, though, which it's really hard for me to eat enough food. I am, like, there was a point where I was eating, like, probably 800 calories a day, because I physically could not eat. Like, I really could not eat. And it wasn't like it was like I was anorexic or anything, because, like, it wasn't that I wanted to be skinnier. It was that, like, it was like the opposite almost, where, like, I wanted the muscle. I wanted to, like, be bigger. Like, I didn't want to be fat or anything, but I wanted to, like, be a healthy weight, have muscle, but, like, I couldn't eat. And so while I'm home, I am getting back into the gym, building that muscle back. Thank goodness for muscle memory, because I would be long gone probably if I didn't have that. But anyways, I kind of just wanted to share it with everyone about what I'm going through, and kind of just be real, be open, share my struggles, because social media is just, like, so fake. Like, people only share the highlights of their life, and that's what I've been doing. That's why I haven't posted much lately, is because my life has been so hard. I have been struggling so much, and I realize that I need to just share with everyone, and if someone's going through the same thing as me, then I'll be able to help them. And it's something that I feel is very important. So I'm gonna start posting more, like, gym related TikToks, and kind of like what I eat in a day, and kind of explain more about my situation, my kind of what I'm going through. And yeah, so I guess follow along with my journey of trying to become normal again, and build muscle back, and be able to eat regular food again, because it's hard, but, like, it's doable. Like, I'll be able to do it. So anyways, if you see a TikTok of me and I look, like, small, I don't even know, don't judge, because I wish I had more muscle. I wish, like, the body dysmorphia with what I've been going through is so bad. Like, it's, I don't know, but I don't know, comment if there are any questions. I can make more videos on this. I just thought I'd share like a little story time and just update everyone on what's going on. And even if nobody cares, I don't know, I don't care. It's just, it feels good to get it out in the open. All my friends who watched this, who didn't know what I was going through, here we go. But yeah, I hope that maybe I can help someone, at least one person, because that would mean so much to me, because I wish that I had someone that I could kind of relate to going through this. But yeah, anyways, I hope everyone enjoyed the video and can possibly relate in some way. I don't even know, but bye.
I'm 4 weeks postpartum with my second baby after having a traumatic birth experience, and over 500,000 of you have had similar experiences, if not worse to mine. So here's what happened. My first was an elective induction, and it was honestly textbook. I got checked in, got hooked up to Pitocin, balloon Foley catheter. That sat in for about 5 hours. They pulled it out. I was at a 4, got my epidural, took a nap, woke up, felt like my butt was on fire, and it was ready to push. I pushed for like 15-20 minutes, and my first son was born. It was a great experience. I had a grade 2 tear. I mean, it's just like a heavy period, nothing to write home about. And when we were planning for our second, I'm like, I want that same thing. I thought it was a great experience. Get checked in. It was delayed a little bit because there were 2 girls who gave birth in the emergency room downstairs, so they kind of took priority over me. But once I was all checked in, you know, got hooked up to my Pitocin. We tried to do the balloon catheter. After like 2 or 3 failed attempts, like we just couldn't get it in. So it's like, you know what, we'll just wait. Took it out. I was already at a 3. So I'm like, they might get the show on the road a little bit faster than we thought, right? And I'm just chilling, right? I wake up, I was only at a 5, but baby was not where he needed to be in order for me to push. Saying my body was progressing, but baby was just not in the right spot. So they're flipping me like a rotisserie chicken for hours, you guys. I mean, I'm talking from like 11 a.m. and then it was maybe 4:30, 5 o'clock. And I remember at this point I was on like all 4s. And these people are flipping me because, again, I had the epidural. Like, I couldn't do anything, right? I remember being on all 4s, looking at the my IV station, right? And my Pitocin was at 36, which is the most it can be at. And I'd been being flipped like a rotisserie chicken for almost 6 hours. And I remember looking at my husband and being like, we're just delaying the inevitable at this point. So I asked for the doctor to come in. I'm like, is there anything we can do? And his head kept getting stuck in my pelvis and just kept like hitting it. And every time they would go to check me and they're like trying to turn him, it was not happening. And like, they're like, it's just higher risk of like birth injury. And like, you can't be on this medication for that long. Like, I knew what was coming. Like, it wasn't like they were trying to scare me. Like, I just knew it was coming. So I had a quick tear and it's like, okay, like, let's do this. Within 5 minutes, I'm on being rushed to surgery to get this baby out of me because, again, he just keeps hitting my pelvis. There was no way this baby was going to come out. Cut open. I couldn't feel anything, but I definitely felt some pressure. Like, it was crazy. I will, this picture up here, I was absolutely terrified. I said I wouldn't put this picture on the internet, but like, it was so wild. So, yeah, pulled him out. They showed the baby to me. He was all like bloody and goopy and whatever. And I was like, okay, cool, he's alive. And then my husband said what the name was, and I was like, great. And I fell asleep for 4 hours. I had been up for so long. My body's absolutely exhausted. I'm just mentally drained, emotionally drained, all the things. I remember waking up like, and it was 4 hours later. I had missed my golden hour. I'd missed skin to skin. I'd missed all that precious bonding time. You know, I woke up and he's screaming because he's hungry. Like, he hasn't eaten anything. And, you know, I just missed so much. And it was so traumatic. I can talk about it like this very objectively now. 1, because I'm on an SSRI, which has been amazing. But 2, like, it was so scary in the moment. And you're just listening to everybody around you, like giving you all these, all the medical terminology and all of like, okay, we recommend this. And like, you know, your body, you know what you want the experience to be. And like, it just was not going to be that. And so many things just kept going wrong. There were a lot of things that happened that I didn't mention. Like, they gave me Nubane when they put the balloon catheter Foley in. I ended up throwing up all over myself. It was so embarrassing. I was so dizzy. I started crying when the nurses had to come in and start flipping me because I was just getting scared. Like, all these people are trying to like turn me over this way, that way, the other, so that the baby can move through the birth canal. And like, I started freaking out and like crying. They had to give me medicine to calm me down. You know, just all these other things. But it was a traumatic experience going from, okay, I'm going to go in for an elective induction. I've done this before. My body knows what to do. When you have your second baby, you basically just like sneeze and like they come out of you and it's awesome. And now I'm being rushed into emergency surgery. The recovery, the first 3 days, I felt like I got hit by a bus. You don't realize how much you use your abdominal muscles by any means. Like, they're in the front, but they're on the sides. They're in the back. You have this scar. You're still bleeding. But after those like first 3 to 4 days, like, I felt like $1 million. I'm not even gonna lie. It was so incredibly swollen when he came out. It was really scary. And like, I think all newborns are like really ugly. He was like super duper like, is he okay? But no, he's super cute. Oh, you're so cute. But yeah, that was my traumatic birth story. And oh, another thing, there were like a lot of girls in the comments on that video like, oh, I had a home birth, there's no trauma, this and that. Like, I needed interventions, I needed surgery. Like, if I was laboring in a pool in my living room, like, it could have been so bad. And then there's other comments like, oh, why is everything so traumatic anymore? Like, you girls are just so dramatic and so sensitive and this and that. And it's like, you go in expecting one thing and then you're getting cut open 5 minutes later. Like, that does something to a person. And, you know, they're trying to save you, they're trying to save the baby, all the things. So yeah, every experience is different. Every baby is different. Every mom is different. Every labor and pregnancy are different. And it doesn't like negate the trauma or their feelings or anything like that. Like, everyone is entitled to their own experience. And yeah, that was mine. I don't know if I want a third baby after all of that. I love my kids. I don't know if I could go through that again because the chances of having a VBAC, I don't know. I think if I had a scheduled C-section, I'd feel a lot better. But the fact that I was already in labor for so long, my body was so tired, and then it was just delaying the inevitable, made it so much scarier. Yeah, Mama was so scared. She was so scared. Yeah. Yeah, that's my traumatic birth story.
Here is chapter 1 of my story about how my ex cheated on me and damn near almost destroyed my life for like 3 years. So my ex and I had met at a gym where she was a coach and I was a member of this gym. And I was a member of the gym way before she was even a coach. And she started coaching there, and we met. We were just friends, like nothing more than that. Up to this point, I had always dated men, was never really, I guess, interested in women, but like always had a relationship with men. That never worked out, and I kind of never like could understand why and whatever. So anyways, her and I became friends. We started not like, I wouldn't say, like, we hung out here and there, but like nothing crazy. She was actually dating a guy at the time, and we started hanging out a little bit more at the beginning of 2018, and she ended up breaking up with this guy. But before then, I remember she used to send me text messages that now looking back at were probably a little bit crossing a boundary when you're in a relationship with somebody. But obviously, again, I was kind of blind to a lot of things back then. And I remember we had our first kiss in 2018 in April, towards the end. Beginning of May, she had already said that she loved me and she never felt this way, the typical love bombing. And yeah, we ended up officially being together at the middle of May. So middle May, we became official, and everything was perfect. I remember when her and I ended up breaking up a few years later, I remember my first therapy session just saying, oh, our relationship was perfect and it was something out of a movie and it was like a fairy tale and all these things. And looking back at that, I was like, wow, look at that red flag there. But yeah, we never fought. We never screamed at each other. We never said anything mean about each other. And to me, she was perfect and everything that I'd wanted. I was somebody who was super self-conscious. She was somebody who seemed very confident in herself. and really just like everything she did, she excelled, like everything. And I was not as athletic as her, so she always ran faster, she always lifted heavier, all these things. And I always would compare myself that I was not as good as her because I couldn't do all these things. And so that's kind of when the not feeling good enough really started to sink in and all of that. So we had dated from 2018 till the end of December of 2021. And that year, I remember we had went to San Diego together, which was like our second time being in San Diego together. The trip felt a little bit weird. This was in March of 2021. And I remember the trip feeling weird. Like it didn't feel like we were really connected. Like it kind of felt like we were just there on a trip with like as friends. Like it felt kind of weird. And so then months went by, we decided to start looking for houses together. And we had found a house finally after months of looking from basically end of summer to fall. Amazing house. It was perfect for us and our two little dogs. And it was adorable. I loved it. Spent a ton of money putting down payments down, getting inspections done, and all the fun things. And we were about a week away from our closing date. Here is chapter 2 of my story of my ex who decided to cheat on me and traumatize me and basically ruin my life for years. So we had finally settled on a house, and we were about 1 week away from closing on this house that was so perfect for the two of us, for our perfect relationship and our perfect life together. I had found out 1 week before our closing date that she was cheating on me. And I had found this out because about a little more, maybe about a week prior, maybe a little bit more, a week and a half, we had broken up on a Tuesday. And she again was just being, my world of just, I mean, to think back on this, it's actually kind of hard for me to remember because I think I blocked most of it out. But I remember we broke up on a Tuesday, and on that Friday, I had asked her, I said, did you meet anybody? Like, is there somebody else involved? Like, I'm not understanding this. And she goes, I met somebody on Wednesday. Okay, so she said that she met somebody on Wednesday. We broke up on Tuesday. She met somebody on Wednesday, and it is now Friday, 1 week before our closing date on our house. And I asked her, I said, oh, you want to throw away an almost 4-year relationship off of somebody who you met just 2 days ago? Huh. Wild. So I was like, what are we doing about the house? Are we working on this, or are we like completely done? Like, what's happening? And she goes, well, you could still go forward with the house. Mind you, the house, the loan, everything was in my name. So I said, no, I do not want to live in this house by myself with my dog, a house that we were supposed to live in together. So I asked, are we going to work on things? Are we going to figure this out? Are we done? Are you just continuing to see this person? And she said, I need to work on myself, and I need to figure out what is happening with me because I don't feel like myself. Now, the entire time we were together, if you were to ask if I ever thought that she had cheated at any point of time, even to this day, I would most likely say no. But again, I can't say for 100% sure. So I said, who is this girl that you cheated on me with? And after digging enough, she said, it is a member at my studio. Crazy. The story is starting out just like ours did. So I said, a member at your studio, right? She said, yes. I said, did you slide into her DMs just like you did to me? And she said, she reached out to me first. Sure. So went back and forth for a while. I had went out that night with my friends. We went out, we were drinking. It was not the best moment that I should have been drinking. started texting her saying, I'm coming to pick up my dog. I'm done. Make sure she's ready. All these things. Wake up the next day, no response from her. And sent her a message and said, I'm sorry. Like, I apologize. I felt terrible. I had said not nice things to her and not nice things about her. I had apologized because I genuinely felt bad. So she finally responded. She said, it's okay. I know you're hurting. I'm the one that did this to you. And it's my fault that you are acting this way. Well, at least she took credit for that. Ish. And so anyways, so the day goes on. I ask if I can come back to my apartment. Mind you, I'm staying with my dad at this time. And so I asked if I could come back to the apartment so I could see my dog. She said, sure, no problem. So I'm back at the apartment. Okay, and now she's being all flirty. I miss you. I miss us. I want to work on things. I'm so sorry. You know, just being almost like the person that I fell for in the beginning. And so I'm like, wow, like maybe this is opening up that door to us reconciling, and like she's really regretting what she did and it was just a mistake, and maybe this is a one-off situation and we are working on things and things are going to get better. So I thought. Here is chapter 3 of my ex who cheated on me and damn near ruined my life for years. So we had, again, planned on the house, ended up a couple days before we were supposed to close on the house, decided that this isn't working out and she needs more time to heal and she doesn't know what's going on and this isn't like her and whatever, blah, blah, blah. So ended up pulling out of the house, which, because it wasn't within 7 days of the signing and closing, I lost all the money that I had put into the house between the down payments, between inspection fees, you name it, I lost it. So obviously at this point, I am not happy at all. And we kind of parted ways. I stopped talking to her for a little while, or it was very, very minimal. Obviously my dog was still with her. Part of the reason why I left my dog with her for so long was because I still needed to get myself together. I could barely take care of myself at the time, let alone take care of my dog. And I knew that wasn't fair to her, my dog, not my ex. So she would keep texting me, you know, hey, how are you doing? Or hey, how is this going? Or hey, I thought of you. Just little things here and there to just try to keep the conversation going. And I'm thinking, why do you keep texting me? Why do you keep responding? Like, why? What is the point of this? Like, we're broken up. The only reason why we should talk right now is because of the dogs. So when I asked her, why do we still continue to communicate? Why do you still continue to text me and reach out to me? And she's like, the only time we communicate is because of the dogs. Really? Really? Because you texted me 2 days ago saying about how bad you missed me and all these things. Okay, sure, but that really sounds like it's just about the dogs. So, whatever, kind of just let it be. So this went on and off for a couple weeks, and it was at the end of February, I had made the decision to take my dog, and I was done. We were leaving, and I was in the apartment looking at her, and she's crying, saying this is not what she wanted. And I'm thinking, well, you did this, not me. And this is not what I want. I didn't want things to end up this way. I'm really hurting. I wish you would stay. I wish you would keep your dog here, because her dog and my dog were really good friends. I mean, they, you know, my dog basically known her dog for her entire life. So I said, well, you have an opportunity right here, right now, in this moment. If you don't want this to happen, I would be happy to stay here if you are willing to work on things with me. And she looked at me and said, I don't think I can do that because I still need to work on my own things. So I had asked her, what was it about this other girl that she felt was so much better than me? Which, looking back at it now, I probably is a question I should have never asked. She said, well, for one thing, she said she's not better than you, but I do like the fact that she's established in her career. I go, oh, okay. So now you're really starting to beat me down. And I had asked, a lot of different questions about how long has this been going on? When did this start? Again, trying, I think, just to grab the little bit of information that I possibly could at that point to just try to, I don't know, maybe walk away and have some closure. I don't remember. So when I asked her when all this stuff started, for real, not 2 days before we were supposed to, or 2 days after we broke up, whatever, she said that things had started in the middle of November. Now, she was with my family on Thanksgiving, which means that while she was with my family, she was texting another girl and actively starting to at least emotionally cheat. Now, I don't know. She said that they did not actually physically hook up till the beginning of December, but at this point, I believe nothing that she has told me. So I was like, oh, I said, have I ever crossed paths with this girl? And she said, you have. I said, okay. So Sundays, I used to take her class at 6 a.m., so bright and early on a Sunday morning. Afterwards, I would go to the grocery store. I would buy all of our food and everything for the week, spend all Sunday meal prepping, cleaning, taking care of the dogs, doing everything that I needed to do to make sure that I was successful for the week and set up, and so was she. So I'm sitting here thinking, wait, like, when did we ever cross paths? And she goes, well, on Sundays when you used to take the 6, she would come in for the class afterwards. Great. So I said, while I was home meal prepping for you and getting you all set up for the week and making sure that when you came home after coaching many classes in a row, and I knew you'd be exhausted, making sure that your laundry was done, your meal prep was done, the dogs were taken care of, the cleaning was taken care of, so that you could come home and just relax for the rest of the day and do the things that you needed to do. And this is what you did. And you felt okay doing that, like knowing this girl is coming in right after me. Like, I don't know, like, it left me so speechless, and I was just at a loss for words. Obviously, I still am. I just don't know how you can do that to somebody. So I take my dog. I leave. I'm driving away, going back to my dad's to stay there for a while till I can get back on my feet. And all of a sudden, she sends me a text message.
Immediately no. Immediately no. I'm telling you right now, I seen what I needed to see.
I'm being sued. I can't even say it. Okay, I'm being sued. Yes, so this is Get Ready With Me while I talk about why I'm being sued. Okay, love these. Medicube, zero pore. Okay, I'm sharing this online because I have been hiding this from everyone, including myself, apparently. Fuck, I'm extremely avoidant with myself. I have like secure, woolly and anxious attachment with any other human, but with myself, I have avoidant attachment, and that has caused me to avoid, please, paying my credit cards. I have not made a single credit card payment since June of last year, or a student loan payment, because I didn't want to. I didn't have the money at the time, and then I can't explain it to you. I literally just couldn't fathom what younger me had done, and every month the number kept growing and growing and growing with all the interest, and I chose to ignore it. It all started when, basically last year, I'm sure some of you remember the video, I went through a really bad breakup. That was my only relationship, like, as an adult, and that was my first breakup, obviously, and it basically happened because I posted a TikTok and everyone agreed with me that he was not doing me right. And I dumped him and quit my job all at the same time. Well, first he was like, first we were together, he said, quit your job, I'll take care of you. That didn't happen. So I quit my job, and then, I don't know, he didn't. Okay, I guess let's go back to the beginning. So, I mean, I've always had debt because, of course, I have student loans. And then I've always had credit cards, and I don't know, I pay them off sometimes I wouldn't, like, you know how it is. And the main issue came when I was gonna go on a trip in 2024, and I got a new credit card for the trip, and basically they automatically approved it for $5,000. And all my other credit cards at the time were only around like $1,000 or $2,000. So I was like, holy shit, this is fucking awesome. And I was good with it at first, and then I would always pay it off. And then they automatically just raised the limit one day to like 7,000. I was like, okay, cool. A couple months later, they raised it to 9,000. I was like, okay, great. Next thing you know, the limit I think is like, I think it's like 11 or 12,000. I don't know. And I know this sounds like I'm not taking accountability. I am. I'm also just blaming them a little bit. I don't know. Okay, fine. This is my bad. I fucked up. Okay, I fucked up. I spent that money. I spent that money. On what? I couldn't tell you. But I had a ball doing it. I don't know. I feel like experiences, food, partying, hotels, going out, vibing, trips. Because like I don't really shop a lot. Maybe I do. I don't know. Who gives a fuck? I had a good time doing it. But anyway, and of course I had some other credit cards, okay? So last year, I just stopped paying them. I was like, fuck it. And I had no job because I used to work at Yelp. I was doing sales and I was pretty good at it. It was cool. And then I quit, and then I don't know. And then I literally was so depressed from my breakup. Like, I had savings. Okay, so I did have savings. So that's why I was not working. And then when I literally was like, damn, I got like $1,000 left. I was like, maybe I should get a job. So I got a serving job, and it was cool. And I still work there, but every summer I house sit in San Diego. And so now I'm here. Because in my fucking head, I'm like, oh, I'm just going to get a job here and figure it out. Also, I know that this is super white, but I just fake tanned and I haven't bought new makeup yet, so. But anyway, I have not applied to a single job. I've just been avoiding myself. I literally got a call from my dad on Saturday. He was like, hey, someone came by the house to try to subpoena you. Do you know what that's about? And my heart dropped and I almost shit my pants. And I was like, oh my God, yes, I know. Like, it's debt collectors because, like, I don't be doing nothing wrong to, like, people type shit. But they had sent me a letter earlier this year, so I already knew it was coming. Why haven't you filed bankruptcy? I don't know. I'm avoiding to myself. Like, I literally don't know. So now I feel like I just need to do that. And then, like, money-wise, y'all, I'm finna do TikTok shop or something. So I'm gonna link another account. Follow, give me 2,000. So I could do TikTok shop on that one. And this one can stay, like, me. You know what I mean? But oh, fuck, y'all. I feel like everyone always talks about how they paid their credit cards. I'm gonna talk about the feeling of when you find out you're getting sued because you're not paying them. Like, because I know I'm not the only financially irresponsible bitch out there. How did I let it get this bad? I don't know. I just, like, didn't care. I couldn't accept it. I just literally felt like it wasn't real. Like, I just was like, there's no way. Like, there's no way. And every time they call me, I just block them. Like, I'm just a girl. Like, what do you mean? But it's like, no, I'm actually not. Like, I'm going to be 27 this year. That shit's not cute. It's like, I mean, I'm not going to say anything degrading about myself. Like, but any negative thought, like, Yeah, I've already had those thoughts. So I'm just like, I need to get my shit together and step it the fuck up because that shit's not cute. It's messy. It's annoying. I wouldn't date me. Like, what the fuck? I don't even feel comfortable telling my fucking friends this shit. It's embarrassing. Like, what the fuck? Man, though, okay, I'm gonna apply for serving jobs while I'm in San Diego, and hopefully I can move down here because I'm so over the Bay. Like, oh my god, I just can't. Okay, it'll be a separate video, maybe, possibly. I just dated this guy for 3 months, and like, I just can't. I'm just so done with the fucking Bay right now. I need a break. But yeah, I do come to San Diego every summer since 2023. I watched this super cute Pomeranian. I love him to death. So hopefully, you know, I'm just gonna apply to serving jobs, and I think maybe the lady I'm house sitting with, maybe she'll let me stay for like a month or two longer until I get like my boots in the ground, you know. And aside from that, I'm gonna just try to do TikTok shop because I feel like hella bitches make money from that. So yeah. Okay, I had to finish getting ready off camera because I knew the process, it was gonna be hard to trust with the coloring going on with the fake tan, but overall, I am going to just take the first step and admit I was very financially irresponsible and disrespectful to myself because I avoided my problem so much and let it get down to the wire in the bitter end. So I am going to choose myself. Yeah. Okay, I will choose myself and I will be responsible and loving and caring towards myself and do what I need to do to pay my debt. So, orange shopping cart. Peep it. Love you.
You know how you have that bag of peas sitting in your freezer that you use to like ice your body and you're like, wow, these are never going to get eaten. They're definitely from like 1998. Well, I'm here as a primary source today to let you know that you might eat them one day. They don't taste good.
You guys, I have such a fun story time. And it is a meet cute story time, which if you don't know what that means, it means you meet someone in the wild, just like organically. Something happens and you meet. And mine's good because I was the airport girl. I feel like every single girl at one point in your life wanted to be the airport girl or like the airplane girl. Even guys, I feel like that's like such a fun to be like, yeah, no, I met someone at the airport. I met someone on the plane or like we sat next to each other. Well, that happened to me. And it's like the best thing ever. So I'm going to share because one, girls, start dressing cute for the airport. I was not dressed cute, but you should. 2, you never know. You just never know when you're going to meet someone. And 3, guys still approach, okay? They still do it. I know it's hard to believe and the dating apps are horrific. So this is me giving you hope. Anyways, I was in the West Palm Beach airport on Sunday morning at 6 a.m. Very hungover, very tired. Not looking cute, okay? And I was with my 2 friends. They're a couple. They're married. Shout out Sam and Chris. And a guy approached me. It was, trust me, we were just as shocked because we were being loud, giggling. Again, we looked like shit. We were exhausted, but we just had like those hangover sillies. And probably not the best airport to have them in because everyone's literally 80. But anyways, so we were getting ready to board our plane. So they started calling like boarding group 1, boarding group 2, 3, 4, you know the deal. And my friends, the couple, were boarding group 2. So we like get up and I start walking with them because I'm like, I'm not just gonna like sit here by myself, you know? And while we're like getting up to go walk to the gate, my friend Sam, she takes a little something every time she flies. She was a little loopy, you know, and she dropped her water bottle. And this attractive tall man who has been sitting like maybe 4 or 5 seats down from me, like laughs at us because we're giggling and again being stupid. And she's like, sorry, I just had to take something. And he like laughs. He's like, no worries. Like, I get it. And so again, their group 1 or 2, whatever it was. And so my friends start walking to the gate, and I, kind of like awkwardly wait to the side, and I can feel him kind of walking up next to me, but I'm obviously not going to be obvious about it. And so he's like, hey, I heard you guys talking. Are you from Rumson, New Jersey? And I was like, no, but we're from Monmouth County. He's like, oh, I heard you guys talking about Barnacle Bill's, which is a popular restaurant by us if you're not from here. And I was like, oh no, but we live 2 towns over, whatever it was. I was like, are you from there? And he was like, no, but I have 2 really good friends who are from Rumson. And I was like, oh, that's so funny. Like, how old? Tells me the age, tells me their names. None of them are ringing a bell, whatever. So we're kind of going back and forth. He's like, oh, what were you here for? I said, a wedding. I was like, what were you here for? He said, also a wedding. He was like, traveling solo. I said, yeah, me too. And we just were talking for like 10 minutes. And then eventually they call boarding group 3. That's your girl. So conversation like kind of has to end. And I'm like, well, that's me. Like, nice to meet you. And he's like, tells me his name. I was going to say it, but I shouldn't do that just in case. Like, puts his hand out, tells me his name. And then I'm like, hi, I'm Gab. And I walk away. So I get online. He's waiting because he's boarding group 4 or 5, whatever it is. And I'm like, damn, like, he didn't ask for my number. He's cute. And like, we were having conversation. He said he was going to be in the area in 2 weeks. He was going to come visit. And I text my friends in a group chat, and I'm like, damn, I wish he had asked for my number. Like, that sucks. And my friend Sam texts back. She's like, oh my God, I was just telling Chris, like, that could be your husband. I'm like, it's so funny. Like, what do I do? Do I get offline? Do I go give it to him? And I'm like, that's so embarrassing. And if he wanted to, he would have, right? Like, he obviously didn't ask for my number. And I also don't know his situation. I'm assuming at this point he's single, because why would you spark up a conversation? So anyways, I board the plane. And I'm like, damn, like, that sucks. Whatever. So a few minutes go by, and then he starts boarding. And I'm in a window seat. And I'm like one of the first few rows on the plane. And he gets stuck, like, kind of like right next to me, or like a row in front of me. And he's like, all right, are you ready? Like, this is going to be tough. Because we were talking about how we were both hungover. And I was like, I'm ready, whatever. And he like keeps like talking. So I'm like, okay, like, he didn't need to engage again, but he obviously wanted to. So I'm in the window, empty middle seat, another lady. And I'm like, the line starts like moving. So I'm like, oh shit. So I like panic, and I give him my phone. I like over this woman. I'm like, and he grabs it. He's like, okay. And he puts his number in. And I don't even know what I did. Like, I was like, so like, something took over my body. I was like, whatever, fuck it. So I obviously text him from my phone, and I'm like, tell him my name, says Gabrielle Lubscher, whatever. And he texts back, and he's like, I pray no one sits next to you in the middle seat. I'm like, oh, that's really cute. Even if he didn't mean like to come sit next to me, if it was just like, you're hungover, I know you're tired, I hope no one sits next to you and you can have a comfortable flight. So long story short, we text for like the entire 2 hours of 2.5 hours, whatever it was, of the flight. And long story short is he did not come and sit next to me, which would have been funny, but like, that's so rude to like make someone come sit next to you. And the woman next to me was probably like, I'm pumped there's no one in the middle seat, as was I, to be honest. But we texted that entire flight, and then we have planned to see each other, and we're gonna go to dinner, and we're gonna like hang out, and he's actually gonna be in the area, so it works out well. But I just want to say, like, meet cutes do happen, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I've always wanted to be the airport girl. Like, I did. Like, that's like so fun, so cool, and it happens. And sometimes you have to kind of initiate, and that's fine. Like, it's not ideal, but he was like, that was so cool of you. Like, that was great. He was like, I really didn't want to overstep, but he's like, I didn't know your situation. And I was like, fair. I was just assuming we were both single if we're both chatting. But yeah, so I'm the airport girl now, and I have an airport man. So stay tuned, because we're going to be getting ready for our first date.